ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्राय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रिये। यं ब्रह्मवरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुत स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्त्वयि वेदे साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदे गायन्ति यं सामगा। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः देवयः तस्मै नमः। देवयः तस्मै नमः। कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So, in the last session we discussed Krishna's appearance in the prison house of Kamsa. It had, as Krishna has appeared in the womb of Mother Devaki, tension is building up in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj is thinking what's going to happen next. Kansa has killed the 6 babies of Devaki. What is Kansa going to do next? Krishna has already appeared now in the womb. So Shukdev Goswami tries to pacify him indirectly. He tells, do not worry, everything is under control. Because Devaki is like the spark of fire in the prison house, in the house of Kamsa. Sometimes the fire is covered up. It's not very visible. But that same fire can burn up the whole house. So sometimes there will be a little spark in the house, but if that spark is not properly taken care, that spark can spread so much. Then one time we say there is fire in the house, next moment you will say the house is on fire. So do not worry about anything. So then we heard how Devatas came, Brahma, Shiva and all other demigods, they came, they offered their prayers to Lord Krishna, who is in the Garbha heart, the Hriday Garbha of Mother Devaki. And then finally Lord Krishna appeared as 4-handed Chaturbhuj Narayan Roop in the prison house of Kamsa in front of Vasudeva and Devaki. And as Lord Krishna appeared, he told them about their previous life history, how they have desired to get a son like Lord Krishna. And there is nobody like Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna said, I will come myself as your son. Now, after he transformed into small baby, on the request of Mother Devaki, he has started giving instructions to Vasudeva. What was the instruction? Take me to the house of Nanda Maharaj in Gokul and leave me there. Bring the girl who has taken birth from Mother Yashoda, bring that girl with you here. So a small boy is instructing his parents. That can happen only in the case of Lord Krishna. No ordinary child, as he comes out of the womb of his mother, drenched in blood, no clothes on the body, he is in no capacity to speak to the parents. So Vasudev, he prepares. What does he prepare? How to take Krishna?
Basket.
Basket. What kind of basket is that? It's not actually a basket, right? It's a chajja, the one which used to separate the grains from the waste, right? जिससे छनते हैं उसको, भूसा को छनते हैं, छाननी kind of. So Vasudevji took that one, put little cloth on that, and carrying Krishna, baby Krishna, on that to take him to Nandgaon, to Gokul. But now Vasudevji is shackled in iron chains. There are locks on the door. How to go? First of all, Vasudevji has given promise to to Kamsa, as soon as the child is born, I will bring that child to you. So what happens to that promise? Vasudevji is thinking to himself that the Supreme Lord has appeared as the child in my house. As the Supreme Lord has appeared, I should give him some wonderful gift. And what could be the more wonderful gift than giving up my words? Because for a Kshatriya, his words are everything. Right? It's the most precious wealth for the Kshatriya, his words. And Vasudevji is thinking, I will give up my word. आज भगवान के ऊपर से कुछ न्यौछावर करना चाहिए, तो मैं क्या न्यौछावर करूं? मैं अपना जो प्रण है, मैं अपना प्रण भगवान के ऊपर से न्यौछावर कर देता हूं. So Vasudevji, he broke his promise to deliver the child to Krishna, and he is ready to take the child to Gokul as Vasudevji took Krishna in his lap. All the shackles removed. All the shackles were removed, and all the locks on the doors. जितने भी दरवाजों के ऊपर अलीगढ़ के ताले पड़े थे, वो सब ताले भी खुल गए. और जितने भी डोर कीपर थे, all the door keepers, they fell asleep. So जैसे ही भगवान जगन्नाथ को अपने सर पर उठाया, तो सब बंधन खुल गए. That is the glory of the Lord. So in this world, if we keep Krishna in the centers of our life, all these different bondages, all these different problems of life, they will disappear. But we don't take that courage to surrender to Krishna. We think I need to first solve all my other problems. पहले मुझे अपने आप अपने सब बंधन खोलने हैं, फिर मैं कृष्ण को उठाऊंगा. Right? But we forget that all these bondages will be opened when we lift up Krishna, when we bring Krishna in our life. So Nand Maharaj, Vasudevji took Krishna and he is ready to go. Devaki Mata, she is filled with anxiety to part away from her newborn son. Now all the atmosphere is surcharged with the joy of Krishna's birth. What was the time when Krishna appeared? Midnight, 12 o'clock, Rohini Nakshatra. There are clouds in the sky. The mild wind is blowing. All the plants, all the trees, they are filled with flowers. All the rivers are filled with lilies and lotuses. All the mountains the caves are filled with precious jewels. So that whole atmosphere is very wonderful. Now as Nanda Maharaj Vasudevji is coming out, there is loud thunderstorm happening. First of all, the whole atmosphere is prepared in such a way, when Krishna is coming out, when Vasudevji has to take Krishna to Gokul, nobody should be on the streets, everybody is inside their houses. It's first of all midnight. But then when the thunderstorm happened, when the rainpour happened, what happened? People generally go inside their houses. बारिश के समय में क्या होता है? लोग ज़्यादातर सोते हैं. So Krishna has prepared this whole atmosphere, let people go inside their houses and sleep. Loud thunderstorm is happening. What is the reason of that thunderstorm? बादल क्यों गरज रहे हैं? Why the clouds are thundering? Clouds are very happy. Krishna has appeared. And clouds are thinking, Krishna will be known by our name also. कृष्णा के साथ हमारा नाम जुड़ने जा रहा है. कैसे? भगवान को कैसे बुलाते हैं? उनका रंग किस तरह का है? मेघ वर्ण. बादलों जैसा, राइट? जैसे बादलों का रंग कैसा होता है? Blackish bluish complexion of clouds. This is how we say. Krishna's color is like the blackish bluish complexion of cloud. मेघ वर्ण. बादल भी सोच रहे हैं कि हमारा नाम भगवान के नाम से जुड़ने जा रहा है. सो वो इतने आनंदित हो रहे हैं, उनसे अपना आनंद संभाला नहीं जा रहा. मस्त हो रहे हैं, वो पागल हो रहे हैं. एंड दे आर थंडरिंग, जोर जोर से आवाज कर रहे हैं. एंड द बिग रेन पॉर इज हैपनिंग. व्हाई? First of all, Vasudeva is going to take Krishna. Why rain has to come that time? One reason is the clouds are thinking we need to sweep the streets. भगवान जगन्नाथ की सवारी आ रही है तो थोड़ी सड़कें तो साफ करनी चाहिए. All the streets should be clean. So the rain is happening. But the another reason is the clouds are thinking we also want to gift something to Krishna. Lord has appeared and we want to give some gift to the Lord. And what can the gift? What gift the clouds can offer? Clouds के पास कौन सा धन है? पानी. बादलों के पास धन कौन सा है? जल का धन है, उनके पास पानी है. So they are thinking we'll give our wealth. So the rain is pouring. And then lightning is also happening. So thundering is happening, rain is happening, and lightning is happening. Why lightning is happening? To show the path to Vasudev ji. कि अगर सड़कों पे कोई खड्डा है, कुछ है, वसुदेव जी का पैर किसी खड्डे में पड़ गया, so better let's put some lightning. So this lightning is happening. So this rain is happening, thundering is happening, lightning is happening. Amidst that, Vasudev ji is taking baby Krishna. Now, when the rain happen, you carry what? Umbrella. What is Krishna's umbrella? Ananta Sesh. So Anantaji is thinking, Lord Krishna is going out in the rain, there is nair, I have to come as an umbrella on the top. So Anantaji come and becomes like an umbrella behind Vasudevji, and he is walking behind Vasudevji, covering Krishna from that rain. So just imagine that whole scene, Vasudevji with that basket, chhajja, carrying Krishna up to his chest, he is walking. On behind Vasudevji, Ananta Sesh is walking, covering Krishna from that rain. And while walking like that, Vasudevji came to Yamuna Maiya. Vasudevji reached at the shore of Yamuna. Now Yamuna is also very ecstatic. See, generally river flows to the ocean. Now Yamuna is thinking the ocean has come to me. So the joy of Yamuna is not contained. She is so happy. कि आज तो भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं चलकर आ रहे हैं, आज तो मैं पटरानी बनूंगी. And she want to touch the feet of Krishna. So Yamuna's water, because of this whole deep rainpour, heavy rainpour, the Yamuna is filled with water. Yamuna is raising, the level of water is raising, Yamuna is rising up. She want to touch the feet of Krishna. So Vasudevji is holding Krishna to his chest, but the water level raised up, Vasudevji lifted. So Yamuna is trying to touch. So she is also rising up. Vasudevji lifted further. Finally Vasudevji kept Krishna on his head. See, earlier it was not that Vasudevji from beginning kept Krishna on his head and he's walking like that. He's carrying Krishna to his chest. Has you seen any father who will carry his baby to his head and walk like that? So Vasudevji was also carrying Krishna to his chest, close to his heart, and walking like that. But as the water level started to rise, Vasudevji is lifting slowly to protect the baby from water. And finally he kept Krishna on his head, and water level is further rising. Water has come to the nose of Vasudevji, and Krishna is thinking, Yamuna ko kya hua? What has happened to Yamuna? She is rising up and above and above. My father, भाई पिताजी को परेशानी हो रही है. बाद में यमुना के साथ शादी भी करनी है. पिताजी जाएंगे यमुना के घर पे रिश्ता लेकर, तो देखेंगे ये तो वही है जिसने पहले इतना तंग किया था, तो पिताजी क्या बोलेंगे. So now he want to pacify Yamuna. So Krishna knows the mind, the desire of Yamuna Devi. So to fulfill her desire, Krishna kept one leg out, touched the water of Yamuna. So Yamuna was very pleased. And then finally the water level started going down. And it also described water level went down, but still for Vasudevji to cross beyond that Yamuna, Yamuna parted into two and gave the passage from the middle to Vasudevji to cross beyond that Yamuna to go on the other side to Gokul. And Yamuna is basically when Vasudevji came to Yamuna, Yamuna is in the mood of welcoming Krishna. How you welcome Krishna? What is the very beautiful song in welcome of Krishna? Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna, Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna.
Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna.
Swagatam Suswagatam Sharanagatam Krishna. Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna. Mathurapuri Krishna, Madhusudana Krishna. Swagatam Krishna, Suswagatam Krishna. Swagatam Suswagatam Sharanagatam Krishna. So Lord Krishna is welcomed by Yamuna Devi. Passing through Yamuna, Vasudevji enters into Gokul. He reaches at the house of Nanda Maharaj. Now Krishna appeared at 12 o'clock. By the time Vasudevji has come to Gokul, it's close to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock kind of Brahma Muhurat happening. Everybody is still fast asleep. Yashoda Devi gave birth to a baby, but she was so tired she fell kind of unconscious. And everybody is sleeping in the house. Nanda Maharaj, Vasudevji came to the house. He came to the room of Yashoda Maiya, saw one baby girl lying on the side of Mother Yashoda. So Vasudevji kept baby Krishna on the side of Mother Yashoda, took that baby girl, and he returned back. So as instructed by Krishna, so Vasudevji performed, executed his order. He executed the order of his newborn son. He kept Krishna there, took baby girl and came back. So he again crossed Yamuna, came back. It's by the time morning time now. So as this baby came back, Vasudevji kept that girl in his lap. He brought the girl back. As soon as he came back, what happened? All the doors closed again, all the locks came back. all the shackles came back, and the doorkeepers woke up. So it's described as we keep Krishna in our lap. As you keep Krishna on your head, all the shackles, all the bondages are removed. But as soon as you keep the Maya on your head, all the shackles in your life, they come back. So all the shackles came back, all the doors locked, the gatekeepers woke up, this baby girl started to cry. So the gatekeeper came to know Devaki has given birth to the 8th child. And as per the Akashvani, what was announced? Ashtagarbho, the 8th child of Devaki, will be the cause of death of Kamsa. So all the gatekeepers, they ran to Kamsa to give him the news that the 8th child has born. And Kamsa, with full anxiety, he came to the prison house. And as he came there, Devaki told Kamsa that please leave this child. This is not even a boy. A girl has taken birth. And what can a girl do to you? And Kamsa was so insistent. He said, no, I am not going to spare this child, no matter boy or girl. Akashvani said the 8th child will be the cause of my death. Ye abla kab sabla ban jaye, kya bharosa? So I don't want to leave her. So again Kamsa, very mercilessly, he grabbed the child from Devaki, and as he was about to smash the girl child on the stone, you know what happened? The girl slipped out of the hands of Kamsa, appeared in Ashtabhuja Durga Roop in the prison house. तो भगवान की योग माया शक्ति अष्टभुज दुर्गा के रूप में भगवान वहां पर कैद खाने में प्रकट हुई. And what did she say? Oh fool Kamsa, your death has already taken birth somewhere else. And then she disappeared from that place. So Kamsa, after hearing this Akashvani again, that my death, this child who is going to kill me has taken birth somewhere else, he was very scared. But then at the same time he was thinking that Akashvani said the 8th child of Devaki and Vasudeva is going to kill me, and I have killed their 6 children mercilessly. So he was feeling pity on that. So he was begging forgiveness from Devaki and Vasudeva. Please forgive me what all I have done to you. Actually this is the Kala, this is karma, what brings all these things, all this misery in the life. So he asked for forgiveness, and he releases Devaki and Vasudeva at that time. That now I have no danger from you. Your 8th child has already born, but that was not the cause of my death. So he releases Devaki and Vasudeva from prison house. But as he come back, all his ministers and everybody, they are telling that your Kal has taken birth somewhere else, and how we can safeguard you. आपकी रक्षा कैसे की जाए? Maybe we should plan to kill all the newborn babies in the whole area. In last few days, whoever babies have taken birth, जितने भी बच्चों का जन्म हुआ है, सब बच्चों को मरवा देना चाहिए. But if we go like that, if we send our soldiers to kill all these babies, people will come to know and they will run away, they will hide their babies. So that may not happen. We have to come with some other secret plan. We have to come with some other strategy how to kill all these babies. So we'll come to that later. Now let's move our camera to Gokul. What's happening there? So Brahma Muhurat has happened. Vasudevji has kept the baby Krishna there and come back. And Krishna is thinking, I have appeared, and my father, mother, they are still sleeping. भगवान स्वयं प्रकट हुए हैं और भक्त अभी भी सो रहे हैं. So I have to wake them up. So he started to cry. Jeev jago, Gora Chandra bole. So please wake up, I have already appeared. So Nanda Maharaj, he woke up first and he saw the child lying on the bedside, on the side of Mother Yashoda, who was, because of all that tiredness, labor pain and all, she has fallen kind of unconscious. She even didn't know what child was taken birth. Was it a boy or a girl? So they didn't even know that. So they saw the boy, the baby Krishna lying there. So Vasudevji woke up first. Then he woke up everybody and the whole news spread that Nand ke ghar pe Lalla ka janam hua hai. Nand Maharaj and Mother Yashoda have been waiting for so long to get a child. And at that age, finally the child has taken birth. So Vasudeva was feeling, the Nanda Maharaj was feeling so much ecstasy, so much happiness, जैसे भगवान राम का जब जन्म हुआ in the palace of Dashrath Maharaj. Dashrath, when he heard the news that the son has born, as soon as he heard the news, it was like the happiness of Brahmanand. जैसे ब्रह्मानंद का आनंद होता है, that way Dashrath Maharaj was feeling happiness. He was in so much joy, dancing and giving charity gifts to everybody. Nanda Maharaj also, he was so happy at the birth of the child. He arranged for the whole festival at the birth of Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj, he took shower, he put on nice clothes, nice ornaments. All the residents of Gokul, they heard the news that Nanda Maharaj ke ghar pe balak ka janam hua hai. So they all got dressed, all the gopis, all the Brajbasis, they have dressed nicely in beautiful clothes and ornaments, and everybody is rushing to the house of Nanda Maharaj with so many beautiful gifts and everything. And Nanda Maharaj has arranged a festival. What is that festival known as? Nandotsav.
Nandotsav.
Right? The next day, so 12 o'clock midnight, we celebrate Krishna Janam, Janmashtami, and next day is celebrated as Nandotsav. The celebration which Nanda Maharaj has performed. And how is that celebration performed? We are going to read one verse of Bhagavatam which describes this Nandotsav. Okay, so we are going to unpack that one verse of Bhagavatam describing this Nandotsav. Nandatu atmaja utpanne jata lado mahamana ahyu vipran vedagya snatah shuchir alankrita. Nandatu atmaja utpanne jato ladah mahamana ahyu vipran vedagya snatah shuchir alankrita. So one by one word if you take, this is describing the Nandotsav, how Nanda Maharaj celebrated the birth of his child. How is that? First of all, how Krishna is described. So look at how Shukdev Goswami is giving the secret, the confidential message here in this one word. Nandatu atmaja utpanne. Atmaja. What is the meaning of Atmaja? From his own self. Utpanne, one who has appeared. So Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne. This child has appeared from Nanda Maharaj. So he has appeared from the body of Nanda Maharaj because the child is considered as born from the body of mother and father. So here Krishna is described as Nandatu Atmaja Utpanne. That Krishna has taken birth from Nanda and Yashoda. We just heard that Vasudevji brought baby Krishna there and kept Krishna there. But the confidential message here, the secret is that two boys were born. One boy, he took birth from Devaki.
Seventh.
Okay, so that is known as Vasudeva Krishna. Okay, Devaki Nandan Krishna. And at the same time, another son, another boy took birth from Yashoda, which is known as Nandanandan, Brajendra Nandan Krishna, Yashoda Nandan Krishna. And when Vasudev brought Vasudeva Krishna from Mathura to Gokul, and as he kept Vasudeva Nandan Krishna next to Yashoda Nandan Krishna, both the boys merged together, became one baby. So actually, Yashoda gave birth to one boy and one girl. Okay, that boy is Brajendra Nandan Krishna. And both boys, they merged together into one. And that is how it is described by Kavi Karnapurna in Vrindavan Champu. And Jiva Goswami also described that in Gopala Champu. how Krishna has actually taken birth from Mother Yashoda. And Krishna actually, what does Krishna say? In Bhagavatam, there is another beautiful verse which described. Krishna says, Vrindavanam prityajya padam ekam na gacchami. Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gacchami. I never step 1 foot out of Vrindavan. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So when Akrurji came to take Krishna from Vrindavan to Mathura, did Krishna not go to Mathura? Yes, he went. So what is the confidential secret here? So there is Vishnu Tattva, Krishna, Narayan form which appeared in the prison house of Kamsa as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva Krishna. And the another son which appeared from Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, Vrajendra Nandan Krishna. So Vrajendra Nandan Krishna, who is even the fountainhead of all the Vishnu forms also, he never leaves from Vrindavan. He doesn't step out of Vrindavan even 1 step. So when Akrurji came to take Krishna to Mathura, he stopped at one place to take his Sandhya bath, to do his Sandhya Gayatri, 3 Sandhya Gayatri. He stepped down from the chariot and went into Yamunaji to take his bath. And as he went inside, he saw Krishna also taking bath there. He came out, he saw Krishna sitting there on the chariot. He again went in Yamuna, saw Krishna sitting there. And then he again came back. So Akrurji was perplexed. What is happening? This Krishna is in Yamuna also, Krishna is here also. So at that time, what is described by Acharyas, Vasudev Krishna, who has come from Mathura, he went back with Akrurji to Mathura. And Vrajendra Nandan Krishna, he lives there, he just stays there, he doesn't go anywhere. In Aprakat Roop, Krishna just stays in Vrindavan, he never leaves Vrindavan. So that's why it is described here. In one word, Shukdev Goswamiji has very confidentially given that message. Nandatu atmaja utpanne jata lado mahatmana. So Krishna is born from Vasudev, from Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya. And Vasudevji is, Nanda Maharaj is so happy at the birth of Krishna that he is performing that Jatakaram. Right? What is that first sanskar happens? Cutting down the embroidered cord, umbilical cord. Right? So Jatakaram sanskar. So Nanda Maharaj is thinking, I need to perform that Jatakaram sanskar. Actually for Krishna, there is no Jatakaram sanskar needed. Krishna is not like an ordinary boy or ordinary child who will come out of the womb of the mother. Krishna has appeared there. It's not that there is any umbilical cord connected, but Vasudevji, Nanda Maharaj is performing that Jatakaram sanskar. He is so much under ecstasy, he doesn't even notice is there a need of Jatakaram sanskar or no. So he is performing this Jatakaram sanskar. Jatah ladoh mahamana. He is so happy. And Nanda Maharaj is described as Mahamana. Mahamana, who is having a big heart. Lord does not appear in the house of an ordinary person. Lord does not appear in the house of a Kripna. Lord appears in the house of Mahamana, who has a big heart. And then how Nanda Maharaj is performing this whole Utsav. Did he throw a birthday party? Book a palace? Invite all the friends, let's do a birthday party, put some movie songs and all and cut a cake with candles on that? So how Nanda Maharaj is celebrating this birth ceremony. Ahyuva vipran vedagya snatah shuchir alankrita. So he invited all the Brahmanas. Ahyu Vipran Vedagya. What kind of Brahmanas? ऐसे ब्राह्मणी जो बीड़ी फूंकते हैं, गुटखा खाते हैं. Not that kind of Brahmanas. Right? These days you find Brahmanas also say, हम पंडित लोग हैं, हम ब्राह्मण लोग हैं. और जर्दा भी खा रहे हैं, पान दबा रहे हैं और गुटखा and all that is going on. Right? There is no cleanliness principles followed. Nanda Maharaj called all very qualified Brahmanas, Vedagya, who knows the Vedas in and out. सिर्फ जानते ही नहीं वेदों को, वेदों के अनुसार आचरण करते हैं. Who knows the Veda, who can teach the Vedas, who act as per the Vedas. And all these Brahmanas, they are very qualified in reciting wonderful shlokas from the Vedas, Swasti Vachan, and they are purified, they are clean, Shuchi, Snatah Shuchir Alankrita. So Nanda Maharaj, he himself, he took bath, he purified himself, he put on nice clothes, nice ornaments, and in that way he celebrated the appearance of Krishna. These days, if somebody celebrate a birthday party, birthday occasion, how do they celebrate? Do they invite Brahmanas? Whom they invite? All their neighbors, friends, and all this big show off. And this birthday party happen in some palaces, right? These days, some palace they will book and have a big birthday bash, and then they will do the cake cutting. There is no yajna happening, there is cake cutting ceremony. And on the cake they will put the candle. And then they will ask the child, now cut the cake and blow these candles. So what is that? Our Sanskriti says we should light up the candle. तमसो मां ज्योतिर्गमय, अंधकार से निकलकर प्रकाश की ओर जाओ. On special occasions we light up our houses, right? We light up lamps. Either it's a birthday or Diwali occasion, so we light up. Tamso ma jyotirgamaya. But here, these days people say ज्योतिर्मा तमसो गमया, प्रकाश से निकलकर अंधकार की ओर जाओ. जितना थोड़ा बहुत प्रकाश है तुम्हारे जीवन में उसको भी बुझा दो, right? Blow off this candle. So that's a wrong culture. We should understand this is not our culture. This is coming from as a Western culture. From where this is coming? And what is the root, the real meaning behind that? How somebody started that culture? First of all, when somebody blows on that candle, which is on the cake, so you are blowing, while blowing all that little spit also goes on to that, and then you are going to cut that cake and feed to everybody also. So Nanda Maharaj, he celebrated appearance of Krishna by performing yajna, by inviting the Brahmanas who did the Swasti Vachan, recited the mantras, recited the shlokas, gave the blessing to the child. So Nanda Maharaj prayed for the well-being of his child, for the good health, good life of the child. And then he offered many charity. What kind of charity was given by Nanda Maharaj? If we hear, so we should learn what is the real meaning of charity. दान देने का महत्व. What is charity? Nanda Maharaj, what kind of charity Nanda Maharaj gave? Cows. First, cows. How many cows? 9 lakh cows were later when we say Krishna used to go herding the cows. Nanda Maharaj, he gave 20 lakh cows to the Brahmanas. And these cows were nicely dressed with nice clothes जिनके ऊपर रेशम की कढ़ाई की गई है. And all these cows are decorated with gold. सभी गाय के गले में सोने की माला पहनाई गई है. That much wealth is there. So Nanda Maharaj gave cows to the Brahmanas. He gave so many clothes to the Brahmanas. He gave gold to the Brahmanas. And then he made 5 piles of sesame seed. तिल के 5 पहाड़ बनाए गए. He donated that til to the Brahmanas. So charity is very important. Nanda Maharaj is performing that charity to the Brahmanas for the well-being of his son on the occasion of the birth of his son. And what is the importance of charity actually? Why to perform charity? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna described Yajna Dana Tapaha. These 3 activities should never be given up. Yajna, Dan, Tapaha. Performing yajna. So in Kali Yuga, what is the yajna? We may not be able to perform that Agni fire sacrifice. There is no qualified Brahmanas, there are no qualified ingredients, there are no Yajman qualified, right? All of us, people sit in performing yajna, in between they go and sip cold drink, right? शादियों के टाइम पे क्या होता है, हवन हो रहा है, फेरे के लिए यज्ञ हो रहा है, हवन हो रहा है, and all the people who are sitting there, they're sipping tea, coffee, cold drink, and the people who are taking the feras also, they also have already eaten and everything. So what kind of yajna is that? There is no cleanliness, no shuchi. So we are not qualified to perform yajnas. What is the recommended yajna for Kali Yuga? Japa yajna, the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then tapaha. What kind of austerity can be performed? People have no capacity to perform austerity in Kali Yuga. The best we can do is, see, in Kali Yuga, just getting up early in the morning, that's a big austerity. Getting up in Brahma Muhurat, get up and do your Japa Yajna. That austerity, if we can do, that is the most recommended austerity in Kali Yuga. We don't have to do anything else. We don't have to go stand on the toes of your feet like Hiranyakashipu with raising your hands. So just getting up early in the morning or observing Ekadashi fasting. Okay, once in 15 days, observe Ekadashi Brata. That is the austerity. And another austerity, you know what is another austerity? Which if we can do, staying away from phone while sitting in satsang. एक घंटा अपने phone को बंद करके side में रख दे. That is a big austerity actually. Hey, sitting here also people will keep checking the phone. Especially now when the virtual program is opening, we don't know what they are doing, right? कितना सुन रहे हैं और कितना इधर उधर देख रहे हैं. Facebook is on, maybe get drifted from your actual Facebook live and check something other stuff also. Let me look at something else and I will come back. So performing yajna, tapa and dan, charity. Why charity is so important? See, all the other ingredients, they get purified by sun. जितना जो भी पदार्थ है वो सूर्य की किरणों से पवित्र होता है. जो अपना शरीर है वो किससे पवित्र होता है? द बॉडी बिकम्स प्योरिफाइड बाय टेकिंग बैथ. माइंड गेट प्योरिफाइड बाय चैंटिंग. एंड आवर वेल्थ, मनी get purified by charity. No matter who that person is, our wealth, whatever earnings we have, it is tainted with some sinful activity. Okay, sorry to say that. No matter how pious work you may be doing, how much you are away from any sort of nonsense activities, but all our activity, all our earning, it has some sinful activity involved. How is that? So if somebody is doing farming also on the land, while doing farming, when plowing the land, while doing all that, so many of the living entities, insects, earthworms, so many of those get killed, right? So there is some sinful activity involved. While somebody is doing their business, somebody is a shop owner or something, while doing their business, they have to tell so many lies. I'm not earning any profit from you. आपको तो जितने में पड़ रहा है उतने में दे रहा हूँ. आपको तो घर के दाम में दे रहा हूँ. So many lies they have to tell. So that earning, it involves some sinful reaction there.
What about IT?
So all IT things we are doing. So while you're making some software, IT things, or you're making cars or whatever it is, in all those, so many sinful activities are involved.
IT also, like, you are being paid for 8 hours, but many people don't really dedicatedly work for 8 hours.
So that itself is
Yeah.
so in every activity, right? No matter what profession we have, how much you are doing a honorable profession,
Yep.
everything is tainted with some sinful activity. So charity, it purifies the wealth, it sanctifies the wealth. So, and I have described the importance of charity. Right? The person who gives charity, that person is actually honored, that person is actually worshipable. I gave the example of the river and the ocean earlier. Anybody remember that example? the rivers, they are flowing to the ocean. So the rivers are donating all their water to the ocean. But the ocean is just getting filled, right? Just receiving and receiving and receiving. Ultimately, forcibly, the water is taken out of the ocean by in the form of evaporating it, right? It becomes into cloud. But the ocean is just collecting. Rivers are giving up everything. They are just coming and meeting with the ocean. And whom do we worship? River or the oceans? Rivers. We worship the rivers. Rivers' water are used for so many different ways. For drinking water, right? You will use the water of ponds, the streams, lakes and rivers. For bathing, for washing clothes, for cultivating the land. River is giving water for all these purposes. But ocean water is not useful for anything. Ocean water you cannot use for cooking. Ocean water you cannot use for drinking. Ocean water you cannot use for cultivating the land. Ocean water, even if you take bath also, your whole body will be still like, what do you call, sticky, chip, जाके फिर से एक बार स्नान लेना पड़ेगा. So we worship the rivers because rivers are giving. Ocean is just receiving. So, person who is donating, who is giving charity, that person is worshipable. And then we have discussed many other examples also. See, somebody who is more rich, for them it becomes even harder to give charity. You will see very few people who are very, very wealthy people, they do actual some donation, because as they are earning more and more, their greed level also increases. It's true. There are so many facts there. Person who is more rich, that person is even more miser. A poor person may give more. कोई 1000 रुपया कमा रहा है, कोई $1000 कमा रहा है, तो हो सकता है maybe he will give $100 in charity. And if somebody is earning lakhs of dollars and he is also giving $100 in charity, is that equal? So giving charity is very, very important. And Nanda Maharaj is showing by his example that one should give charity. And what kind of charity should be given? To whom the charity should be given? Charity should be given to the qualified person at the right time, to the right recipient. Right? Because if you give some charity to somebody and that person goes and drinks or smokes, you become contaminated with that activity also. So giving charity to the right person for the right task, for right purpose. So the best charity we can give. What is the best charity these days? We should consider.
Sharing Krishna knowledge.
Sharing knowledge about Krishna. So if we can give our wealth for the purpose of Krishna, so the charity should be for Krishna, for the task of Krishna. So giving charity to temple, for cultivating Krishna consciousness, for spreading Krishna consciousness. If we don't have capacity to donate, everybody has some capacity to donate. Nobody can say, oh, I don't have anything at all to give in charity. If somebody is saying like that, that person is really miserly. No matter how much you are earning, even if you are earning $100, that person also can give some charity. As a principle, maybe we should give at least 10% of our earning into charity. Somebody is earning $100, $10 for charity. You are earning $1,000, $100 for charity. You are earning $10,000, maybe $1,000 for charity. So everybody can give something in charity. And on top of that, what is the best charity we can do is spreading the knowledge about Krishna. So giving this Krishna Katha, that is the biggest charity. And somebody may say, oh no, I cannot do that kind of charity. I am not qualified, or I don't have that capacity to sit and speak like this to others. But still we all can participate in that in some way or other. Even if we ourselves may not be able to speak, but we can support others who are doing that, right? We can support in that way. So somebody is organizing program, somebody is speaking, somebody is arranging for prasadam, all that is contribution in that way to spread Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna katha to others. So many people, they arrange this Bhagavad program, Krishna katha program, they spend their money, अपना तन मन धन से उस कार्यक्रम में सेवा करना, that is like charity. So sharing, right, these recordings also, in that way, that is also sharing Krishna katha, sharing knowledge with others. So that is the best kind of charity we can do, to spread Krishna consciousness, to give knowledge about Krishna. Kaho Krishna bhajo Krishna loho Krishna naam, Krishna mata Krishna pita Krishna dhana pran. So chant the name of Krishna, read about Krishna, speak about Krishna. Krishna is our father, Krishna is our mother, Krishna is the most dear wealth. So Nanda Maharaj performed charity. And at that time, all the residents of Gokul, they arrived at the house of Nanda Maharaj. They are congratulating Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya. They all have come very beautifully dressed. And Nanda Maharaj has given gifts to everybody. They also brought gift for the newborn baby. As a custom, you give gift to the newborn baby. And Nanda Maharaj gave gift to everybody. Nanda Maharaj gave charity to everybody. And Nanda Maharaj fed them all nicely. Nanda Maharaj के घर पे दूध दही मक्खन का कोई कमी नहीं है. So everybody is fed nicely with milk, yogurt, butter. And after everybody has been fed nicely, there is so much butter and yogurt. Now everybody started playing with that butter and yogurt. सब लोग मक्खन और दही से होली खेल रहे हैं. So everybody is taking that, making the balls of butter and throwing at others. Rubbing on their faces, on their body, they are rubbing like that. और पूरे आंगन में जैसे दूध और दही और मक्खन का कीचड़ बन गया. Everybody is pulling each other into that. They are playing like that, enjoying the festival of appearance of Krishna. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. ब्रज में आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. हाथी घोड़ा पाल की जय कन्हैया लाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. हाथी देना घोड़ा देना और देना पाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. जय हो नंद लाल की, जय यशोदा लाल की. गोकुल में आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. आनंद उमंग भयो जय हो नंद लाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. कोटि ब्रह्मांड के अधिपति लाल की. कोटि ब्रह्मांड के अधिपति लाल की. हाथी घोड़ा पाल की जय कन्हैया लाल की. गैया चराने आए जय हो पशुपाल की. गोकुल में आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की. So in that way, Nanda Maharaj celebrated the birth of Lord Krishna. So few days passed, 3-4 days have passed, and Nanda Maharaj thought, if Kansa come to know about the appearance of my child, birth of my child, Krishna may connect it with somehow with Vasudeva and Devaki. Because see, when this whole celebration was performed, Nandotsav, at that time still the news has not come out yet that the 8th child of Devaki and Vasudeva was a girl and she disappeared in the sky. And she has given this words that your death has born somewhere else. Now this whole news has spread. And Nanda Maharaj thought, what if Kansa start to link it somehow with my child, that a child has born, if he think that Vasudev's another wife Rohini is also at the house of Nanda Maharaj, She gave birth to one child earlier. Now another son has born in the house of Nanda and Yashoda, and what if that is the child? If the soldiers of Kansa come here for collecting taxes or for some other purpose, they will come to know and they may connect it somehow in that way. Better I myself go and give the taxes to Kamsa before even if it's due, and try to pacify, try to please Kamsa. So Nanda Maharaj told all the Gokulvasis, all the cowherd men, that let's all prepare to go to Mathura to pay our due taxes to Kansa. So they prepare their bullock carts, they come to Mathura. So that is the 6th day after Krishna's appearance, 6th day of Krishna's appearance. Nanda Maharaj with all the cowherd men, many of them with their bullock carts full of milk, yogurt, butter and all these grains and all, they go to Mathura. Nanda Maharaj come to Kansa, pay his obeisances and tell, see, I have brought all these taxes for you. I have brought all these things for your pleasure. Actually, my wife, after a long time, has given birth to a child. So Nanda Maharaj thought, let me just disclose that from my side and try to kind of remove all this confusion, misunderstanding. Let me tell him that my wife, after a long time now, has given birth to a child and I have brought all these gifts for you. Rather than giving him monthly tax, Nanda Maharaj brought whole yearly tax. That let pacify Kamsa. And Kamsa, out of obligation, he will think, see, Nanda Maharaj is so true and he has brought the taxes by himself, and it's my duty to protect the whole village of Gokul, to guard the whole village of Gokul. So in that way he will not have his kudrashti on Gokula. So Nanda Maharaj gave all the taxes. Now Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, they are friends. They are actually brothers from little far distant relationship. They are brothers as cousin brothers. So Vasudev, Nanda Maharaj want to go and meet Vasudev, because now Vasudev has been released from the prison house of Kamsa. His 6 children have been mercilessly killed by Kamsa. So Nanda Maharaj, of course, wanted to go meet Vasudev and pacify him what all has happened. Before Nanda Maharaj go to meet Vasudev, Vasudev think, I should go and meet Nanda Maharaj. If Nanda Maharaj comes here, Devaki also will be here, and out of her natural affection for the son, she may say something that, oh, the child at your home, that is my child, that's my son. And if the Anuchar of Kamsa come to here, because they are keeping guard on Vasudev and Devaki, they are kind of पहरेदारी कर रहे हैं उनके महल की, उनके घर की. If they hear, they go and will inform Kamsa, and Kamsa will become alert. So I should go and meet Nanda Maharaj. So Vasudev himself goes, and he doesn't take Devaki with him, because for the same reason that by nature women are very soft, right? Their heart is very delicate. Motherly affection is there, and she may speak something. So Nanda Maharaj come there, Vasudev come there to meet Nanda Maharaj. They speak. Nanda Maharaj kind of offers his condolences to Vasudev, what all has happened. They had to stay in the prison house of Kamsa. Their 6 children were killed. And finally Vasudev also tell Nanda Maharaj, he asked about his welfare. Indirectly he is asking about the welfare of Krishna without revealing that Krishna is my son. So he is asking about how are the cows, how are your bulls, how are your farms, you are getting enough thing. Just indirectly asking that my child is protected, he is safe there in that house. And then Vasudev actually tell Nanda Maharaj, better you go back to Gokul. Don't plan to stay here in Mathura for the night. Because Nanda Maharaj was thinking, tonight I will stay here in Mathura and then tomorrow morning we will return back. And Vasudev told indirectly, informing him of any upcoming danger, that better you go back to Gokul. There may some unforeseen danger may come on Gokul. So better you return back. So Nanda Maharaj took the advice of Vasudev very seriously, and he prepared all his cowherd men immediately that we will go to Gokul right now at evening time, at night time. So they all started walking back to Mathura, to Gokul from Mathura. Now on the way back to Gokul, Nanda Maharaj is reflecting on to the words of Vasudev. That Vasudev has said, there may some danger come on Gokul, better you hurry up, go back. And Vasudev never says anything wrong. His words, he always speaks truth. Maybe there is some truth to his words. Because after that eighth child has disappeared and Kansa has become mad, he is trying to search for the boy anywhere, and all the people, they will be searching in all villages, all towns. So some danger may come, I should rush to my town. And Vasudev is actually considered as somebody with Vak Siddhi. Right? Somebody who speaks very less, they develop some sort of Vak Siddhi, the Siddhi of speech. Whatever they speak, actually the nature arranges such way their words come true. So that's why it says the speech also, there's different ways of speech. How people speak. One is somebody just speaking nonsense all the time, right? They will do gossip, they will speak anything, whatever comes to their mind. And sometimes people say, oh, we are very upfront. हमारे जो मन के अंदर है वही हम बोल देते हैं. That's also not actually good. Because one should learn how to speak based on the time, place, circumstance. Based on the mind or the conscious level of the front person. The speech should be such that it is pleasing to others. Even if we want to speak the truth, something which we want to convey honestly, some feedback to that person, it should be spoken in a way that it conveys the message properly without hurting that person. And some person, they do austerity, they don't want to speak at all, right? They become like Mona Baba, Moni Baba, Mona Vrat. हमने तो मौन व्रत लिया, हम कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे. That is also not good. The right thing is to speak about Krishna. Speak less, but speak about Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj is reflecting on to the words of Vasudev, that words of Vasudev are not waste. Whatever he speak, वो बड़ा तोल के बोलते हैं. It must be something, some danger may come on Gokul. So Nanda Maharaj के हृदय में थोड़ा भय उत्पन्न हुआ. He had that ashanka that some danger may come. And in that situation, what did Nanda Maharaj do? Now that is a very beautiful lesson for all of us. नंद महाराज को चिंता हुई तो उस समय पर उन्होंने क्या किया? All of us have some चिंता.
भगवान का नाम लो.
तो सबको कुछ ना कुछ चिंता रहती है जीवन में, right? Everybody has some sort of tension, some problem, some anxiety in life. और इसलिए बोलते कि जो चिंता है वो चिता के समान है. चिंता चिता समान. चिंता, because चिता will burn you once. Right? When somebody is dead, we put them on chita and do their antyeshti, antim sanskar. So chita burns only once, but chinta burns every day. These days people are filled with all the problems, anxieties and worries are the cause of so many diseases. People have hypertension, hyper blood pressure, right? Blood pressure problem, diabetes problem, overweight problem, or underweight problem. All these are because of tension actually. This tension work on different people different way. Some people under tension, they cannot eat anything, so they get underweight. Some people under tension, they eat more. और उनको मीठा खाने का और ज़्यादा तलब लगता है. Stressed out, when they are stressed out. And so they gain weight. So underweight, overweight, both are because of tension. And under tension, they are just overthinking, thinking, lying on their couch. They don't even do anything. This lying on their couch and thinking, become like couch potatoes. So many diseases have come because of stress. Stress in itself is a big disease. The biggest medicine which is sold these days is antidepressant. Right?
It's a
Antidepressant.
surprising fact in America.
Yeah. The antidepressant medicine is the biggest selling medicine. People are depressed, so much worry. And when people are worried, where do they take shelter? They take shelter in food, intoxication, they take shelter in friends and family, watching TV, spending all their time uselessly, right? That's and or some whom they think that person can solve our problem, maybe some politician, some this person, influential person, this or that. So this is how they take shelter in all these various people. But whom should we take shelter when we really are stressed out?
Krishna.
Just follow the example of a child. The child is without any stress, no tension, right? When you are a small child, there is no tension, completely free, there is no worry. Because the child know my father will take care of me. मुझे खाना चाहिए, उसको खाने की टेंशन नहीं है कि 2 घंटे खेला, घर पे जाऊंगा, खाना मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा. He knows mother will have something for me to eat. Father will arrange these things for me. So the child does not have any tension. He is fully dependent on the father and mother. So we should learn from the child how to become stress-free, tension-free, be dependent on our father. And who is our father?
Krishna.
Krishna is our supreme father. If we depend on Krishna, then we can become free from all tension in life. But unfortunately, people take shelter of everything else. They don't take shelter of Krishna. And what did Nanda Maharaj do? Nanda Maharaj said, Hari Jagam Sharanam Utpatagam Ashankita. Hari Sharanam, Hari Jagam Sharanam Utpat Agam Ashankita. जब उनके हृदय में आशंका हुई कि कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है, कुछ उत्पात हो सकता है गोकुल के अंदर, हरि जगाम शरणम, he took shelter of Hari. Now somebody may question, Krishna is at the house of Nanda Maharaj. Why Nanda Maharaj did not take shelter of Krishna? Krishna, you say Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Krishna is the source of Hari also, Krishna is the source of Vishnu also. Why Nanda Maharaj did not take shelter of Krishna? Nanda Maharaj took shelter of Hari. Because for Nanda Maharaj, Krishna is his dear baby, 6-day-old baby. And Nanda Maharaj is under tension for the protection of his baby. तो कृष्णा की रक्षा करने के लिए उन्होंने हरि का शरण लिया, विष्णु का शरण लिया. लेट विष्णु प्रोटेक्ट माय बेबी चाइल्ड कृष्णा.
Nanda Maharaj did not know that, right?
Right, man, for Nanda Maharaj he is covered with parental affection.
Means did he know that he is Krishna and
Man.
he is Lord?
They will know later on as they move forward.
That
Yes, at
moment-
that time, yes, Nanda Maharaj doesn't know. So for Nanda Maharaj, he is thinking about the protection of his dear darling Krishna, and he is thinking, may Lord Vishnu protect my child. So Nanda Maharaj has the Archa Vigraha, the deity of Lord Vishnu at the home. Right? Chaturbhuj Vishnu का घर पे विग्रह है, and he serves the Lord at home. So he immediately took shelter of Hari. Let Hari protect my baby child. And what is the meaning of Hari?
जो हरे जो हरता है.
Sarva Amangal Hare. Right? Who takes away all Amangal in life. All inauspiciousness from life. That is Hari. Sarva Amangal Hare. And Hari means lion also. Okay, Hari means lion also. When Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, we call Lord Nrsimhadev as Nar Hari. Nar means human, Hari means lion. So half human, half lion. He is also called Nar Hari. So Hari means lion also. But Hari, the meaning of Hari, it's beautifully described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it describes Hari Shabde Nana Artha Dui Mukhyatma. मुख्यतर 2 अर्थ हैं हरि के. हरि शब्द नाना अर्थ है. Actually Hari word has many meanings, but द्वि मुख्य आत्मा. मुख्यतम 2 हैं. What are these 2? सर्व अमंगल हरे, प्रेम दिया मन हरे. One meaning is सर्व अमंगल हरे, who takes away all inauspiciousness from life. And another meaning is Prem Diya Man Hare. He fills our heart with so much love and steals away our heart. Right? He steals away our heart with his Leela. So Lord can remove all inauspiciousness, all the problems from life if we take shelter of the Lord. And Nanda Maharaj has Hari Vigraha, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu's Vigraha at home. Another beautiful message that everybody should keep the form Archa Vigraha of the Lord at their home. We should worship the Lord at our home. भगवान को अपने घर में बिठाना चाहिए, अपने घर के अंदर विराजमान करना चाहिए. See, in Hindi, another word for घर is called bhavan. Bha comes from Bhagavan. If we keep Bhagwan in the house, then our house becomes bhavan, which is the residence of the Lord. अगर भवन के आगे से भ हटा दिया जाए, what is that? One. Who lives in one? Animals. So if the Lord is not in the house, if the Lord is not kept in the center of our life, then we are like animals living in that house. That house is like a forest. So everybody should keep the Lord in their house, establish Archa Vigraha, or at least keep the picture form of the Lord in their house. So Nanda Maharaj, he took shelter of Hari. And in our all the midst of all the happiness and distress, if we can remember the Lord, then our life is successful. So if we can remember the Lord in all situations, either it's happiness or distress, then we have passed with flying colors. But if we fail to remember the Lord during our happiness or during distress, then we have failed miserably. So the success of life is if we can remember Krishna. And to be able to remember Krishna, we need to practice remembering Krishna by engaging in those activities on day-to-day basis. So here, Nanda Maharaj has taken shelter of Krishna. He is drinking that medicine of remembering Hari, chanting the name of Hari. Because if we don't take shelter of Krishna during the time of happiness or distress, especially let's say at the time of distress, then who is the shelter? Right? If somebody gives up Krishna consciousness, gives up chanting the names of Krishna, when there is misery in life, somebody is thinking, oh, I have so many problems in my life. Let these problems be solved first, then I will do chanting. अभी तो मेरे ये बीमारी है, my body is not cooperating, or I have having some mental disturbance, my mind is not cooperating, I have some financial problem, let me solve these problems first, then I will chant the name of Krishna, then I will practice, let me take a break from bhakti right now. So this situation is like the patient goes to the doctor and tells the doctor, my disease has increased, so I have stopped taking medicine. Is that a intelligent proposal? So when your disease condition, you're supposed to take medicine regularly. And if your disease has increased, maybe we need to take more medicine. Or we need to consult why my disease is increasing. Maybe I'm not taking the medicine properly. Maybe I'm not taking it on prescribed times or in a prescribed way. Something is wrong. But we give up medicine. So same way, if people, they stop taking the chanting of holy name, they stop serving Krishna, when there is some problem in life, that's not a very intelligent proposal. So we should never give up Krishna consciousness, no matter it's distress or happiness. Success of life is if we always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj has taken shelter of Lord Hari. Now, again, Nanda Maharaj is walking from Mathura to Gokul. It's on foot, it's quite a bit distance if somebody has to go. Now, on the other side again, Shukdev Goswami moves camera back to Gokul. What has happened in the absence of Nanda Maharaj? So it's the evening time when Nanda Maharaj is coming back. And at that evening time, what has happened? When the 8th child had disappeared, all the ministers of Kansa, they told we have to make some other plan to kill all these newborn babies. And if we send the soldiers to kill, people will hide, people will run away. So we have to come up with some other plan. At that time, a demoness named Putana, she came there. She was ally of Kamsa. She told Kamsa that you give this task to me, I will destroy all these newborn babies. I will secretly go into their houses in a disguise and kill all these babies. So now Shukdev Goswami, he starts to describe about Putana. How is Putana described? Kansena prahita ghora Putana bal ghatini Shishum chachara nigananti Puragrama vrajadishu. Kansena prahita Putana. Kansena prahita ghora Putana bal ghatini. So Putana word is sandwiched between two adjectives. Kansena prahita ghora and bal ghatini. Ghora, she is horrible.
Ghor.
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 Kansena prahita, she is associate of Kamsa, a servant of Kamsa. Kansena prahita ghora, she is very horrible. And bal ghatini, she is the killer, serial killer of babies. She is like a baby serial killer. She goes to different houses and kills babies. And how she kills? Shishum chachara nighananti. बच्चों को मार के उनका मांस खा जाती है, उनका खून पी जाती है. She is such heinous personality. She is so cruel and so dangerous. Shishu nighananti, shishum chachara nighananti, puragrama vrajadishu. So she was wandering around in this whole Braj Mandal searching for newborn babies. And then Shukdev Goswami says, Sakhechari ekada utpatya Putana nanda gokulam Yoshitva mayatmanam pravishat kamacharini. So once upon a time. So first he introduced Putana, that she is so horrible, serial baby killer. She goes everywhere searching for babies. And then he says, once upon a time, while flying in the sky, Sa Khechari. She is described as Khechari, a witch who can fly in the sky. Okay, Sa Khechari ekda utpatya Putana Nand Gokulam. वो नंदग्राम गोकुल ग्राम के ऊपर से गुजर रही थी. And then out of her own free will, out of her own desire, pravishat kamacharini. She does not have to take permission of somebody to go somewhere. Just out of her own desire, he just goes everywhere. Pravishat kamacharini yoshitva maya atmana. So she disguised herself in a very beautiful woman and entered into Gokul. So now Parikshit Maharaj is hearing this whole description. He heard about Putana. She is a serial baby killer and she has entered into Gokula. Parikshit Maharaj's heart is pounding now. His heartbeat increased. His face color is changing. The emotions are changing. And he is thinking, what's going to happen? Krishna's 6-day-old baby is there and Putana is known for killing the babies. She is the serial baby killer and she has entered into Gokul. What's going to happen? Is she going to kill baby? Is she going to harm Krishna somehow? So he is again getting that anxiety and seeing the changing colors on the face of Parikshit Maharaj. Shukdev Goswami, observing his mood, he pacifies Parikshit Maharaj indirectly. He tells, do not worry, nothing is going to happen. See, it is said that wherever Krishna's holy name is being sung, wherever Krishna Katha is being going on, no bad influence can come on that place. No negative energy can be at that place. And now at that place, Krishna himself is present. Krishna himself as baby is present there, so no harm can come there. No ill power, no evil power can enter there. So don't worry. Just keep calm and listen. See, Parikshit Maharaj's mood of hearing Bhagavatam is so wonderful, he becomes completely absorbed. Tattvata, right? He becomes Krishnamai, Kathamai. He just absorbs in Krishna Katha like that. So Shukdev Goswami pacifies him and he continues with his Katha. He describes the beauty of Putana. Because Putana has disguised in a very beautiful woman. And in two shlokas, actually Shukdev Goswami is describing the beauty of Putana. Somebody may question, Shukdev Goswami, he is such a renounced person, Atma Ram, Bimal Atma, why he will speak about the beauty of a woman? For Shukdev Goswami, actually there is no difference in man and woman. He doesn't differentiate in man and woman. For him, everybody is same. So he is just describing the beauty of Putana because he thought, let me describe how she has changed herself, and later on her actual form will be shown. Her horrible form will be shown. So just to give contrast, how she changed herself, how dubious behavior she was showing, and what originally she is. So how Putana came there? As if she went to a beauty parlor and did a lot of makeup. So with long nails which are very beautifully painted, decorated. With nice curly hair, she has done her makeup on the hair. There's color on the hair. जैसे आजकल लोग हिप्पी लोग होते हैं ना, रंग बालों में लाल रंग का कुछ अलग अलग तरह का रंग लगाते हैं. So with colored hair, with large nails decorated, and she is wearing the dress of a gopi, as if she is also a gopi from this whole Brajamandal, wearing nice kundal, nice tilak, nice kanthi mala, with holding a beautiful lotus flower in her hand. She is walking in Gokul. And as all the men and women of Gokul, they saw this beautiful girl, beautiful woman, they are all attracted. Not only the men, the women are also attracted looking at the beauty. They're thinking there's something extraordinary girls, extraordinary woman has come. We don't recognize her. Maybe she is from some other village.
Devalok.
Maybe she is from other village, some gopi. Maybe she is from Devalok. Some Indra's Apsara has come down. Maybe Menaka or Rambha or Urvashi has come down. And some third gopi, she says, no, I think she is Lakshmi herself has come here. And fourth gopi says, what is the proof she is Lakshmi? How can you say she is Lakshmi? And then she says, don't you see at that lotus flower whirling in her hand? That is a symbol of Lakshmi Devi. Maybe Lakshmi Devi has come. Then another gopi asks, why Lakshmi Devi will come here? Then the another gopi says, because Narayan himself is lying as a baby in the house of Nanda Maharaj. So Lakshmi Devi was alone. She also has come down to be in the association of her husband. Lakshmi Devi is coming down. Another person is saying, actually I know the reason why Lakshmi Devi will come down. Because Nanda Maharaj, he has given so much charity. Nanda Maharaj का सब भंडारा खाली हो गया, उनका सब खजाना खाली हो गया, तो लक्ष्मी उनका सब खजाना भरने आ रही है. So everybody is giving their different logics and reason, and everybody is following behind her. She is walking towards the house of Nanda Maharaj, and nobody is obstructing the path, nobody is stopping her. She is without any restriction, she is entering. Everybody is mesmerized by her beauty. But what is the beauty of that? Actually her form is very horrible form. We'll discuss later when the real form is shown. Now she is showing her dubious form. In this world also, the lesson to learn from this actually, in this world also people show their dual faces, right? They are dual faced. To external world they show something else, internally something else. Sometimes we are different in public and different in private. Actually people show three faces. One is in public, right? In front of public they are something, so everybody knows them in a particular way. At their home, maybe their parents, in front of their parents they are something different. So outside the people may glorify your child. Oh, your child is so mannered, well mannered, he talks so nicely, he behaves so nicely. And parent may be thinking, I know my child, how he is, I know his real behavior, how he acts at home. So at public there is one behavior, in front of maybe parents there is second behavior, and maybe there is third also which parents also don't know, right? Somebody may be acting in a completely different way. Even parents, we hide something from parents also. So that is the third phase. So people have dubious mentality, dubious behavior. That is what Putana is representing here. She walks into the house of Nanda Maharaj. even Yashoda and Rohini Mata, they see Putana walking into, they are also mesmerized by the beauty. And she says, can I go see the baby? Yes, yes, please go. Nobody is stopping Putana. Somebody, maybe some Devalok Kanya has come or Lakshmi Devi has come to take darshan of Krishna, to bless Krishna. So nobody restricted entry of Putana. So Putana entered into the room where Krishna is lying in the bed. And here Putana is described as a buddhi, unintelligent, that she is foolish person. Why foolish person? Because she is going to play with fire. Krishna is described as a fire who is hidden under the ashes. Because Krishna is just a 6-day-old baby. From outside he is looking very cutie pie, very innocent little baby. And his actual reality, actual potency is hidden as the fire is hidden under the ashes. Right, at night somebody has done the whole, burned the fire at home and the whole wood has been burnt and it's covered up with the ashes. So in the morning if you come and you want to burn your firewood chulha again, you just move around the ashes. Under the ashes the fire is still there. So Krishna is like that. On the external he is covered with innocent beauty of a child like the ashes. Underneath Krishna is the spark. Putana is thinking, I am going to go destroy this baby, and she doesn't know that baby is going to be my destruction. वो मेरा काल बनने जा रहा है. So she is described as a buddhi, unintelligent, who sometime an unintelligent person mistakenly thinks a snake to be a rope. अगर कोई सोते हुए सांप को उठा के अपनी गोद में बिठा ले, उसको रस्सी समझ के, so that will be foolishness. That is the task of Putana, what she is going to do. She is going to lift up Krishna in her lap. She doesn't know Krishna is going to be her Kal. So Krishna's beauty is described. Krishna's 6-day-old baby. Krishna is lying there in his bed. And the beauty of Krishna, how Krishna is sleeping there. See, Acharyas explain the beauty of Krishna in so many ways. Right? Scripture define the beauty of Krishna. Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram, hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, madhuradipate rakhilam madhuram, adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram, nayanam madhuram, hasitam madhuram, hridayam madhuram, gamanam madhuram, geetam madhuram, pitam madhuram, bhuktam madhuram, suptam madhuram, rupam madhuram, tilkam madhuram, madhuradipater akhilam madhuram. So everything about Krishna is sweet. Krishna's lips are sweet, beautiful. Krishna's whole body is sweet, beautiful. His eyes are beautiful. His hasitam madhuram, his smile is sweet, beautiful. Geetam madhuram, his singing is beautiful. Pitam madhuram, his yellow garments, they are sweet, they are madhur. Bhuktam madhuram, his eating is sweet, is so beautiful. And suptam madhuram, his sleeping is also beautiful.
Everything.
So Krishna's everything is so beautiful. Now, how Krishna's eating is beautiful, eating is sweet. Krishna as Lord Jagannath in Jagannath Puri continuously is eating, and people go to take darshan of eating God. खाते हुए भगवान का दर्शन करने के लिए जाते हैं. Right? Because his eating is beautiful, his eating is sweet. Suptam madhuram. While sleeping also he is beautiful. While sleeping, what is that form? Anantasesh. No, Anantasesh, who is sleeping? Bhagavan Ranganath. Right? Ranganath Bhagavan, he is sleeping on Anantasesh, And people go to take darshan of the sleeping Lord on Anantasesh. Is so beautiful. So bhuktam madhuram, suptam madhuram, madhuradhipataye rakhilam madhuram. He is all aspect, he is so sweet, he is so beautiful. And Krishna's hridayam madhuram. His heart is beautiful. Because Krishna's reciprocation with all his devotees, with all his friends, is so beautiful, is so sweet. When Sudama, he went to Krishna in Dwarika, Sudama was so poor, his wife insisted, you go meet your friend and maybe he will just help you. You even don't have to ask anything. So Sudama went and he even did not have the courage to give the potali what cheap rice he has taken with him. But Krishna knew that my friend has come and he must have brought some gift for me. Krishna insisted, you bring that potli out, and Krishna took that potli, ate that chipped rice, and without even knowing of Sudama, Krishna gave him all the opulences. That is the sweetness of Krishna's heart, his reciprocation with all his associates, his devotees, his friends. Hridayam madhuram. So Krishna's everything is beautiful, and this Putana, disguised in a beautiful form, who is not really beautiful, has come in front of beautiful Krishna. And as she entered into the room of Krishna, Krishna saw this Putana coming and Krishna closed his eyes. And Acharyas have given so many different meanings. Why Krishna closed his eyes? What is the secret behind that Krishna closed his eyes? First reason, it says, Krishna is a little baby, 60-year-old baby, and he saw some strange person coming. And seeing some strange person, just Krishna, out of fear, he closed his eyes. As a small baby, who has come? Right? Sometimes baby, they turn their face away when they see some stranger. So Krishna closed his eyes, seeing some stranger person. But what is the real secret behind Krishna closing his eyes? Krishna closed his eyes because Putana represents ignorance. And Krishna represents knowledge. Wherever knowledge is, ignorance cannot stay. Wherever there is light, the darkness cannot stay. But Krishna, no, Putana has come to do some leela, some task. And if I look at Putana, because of light, the darkness will be destroyed. She will not be able to do what she has come for. So Krishna closed his eyes. Let her do her leela, whatever she wants to do. So Krishna closed his eyes. Another reason Acharya gave, Putana represents bad association. And we should stay away from bad association. We should turn our back towards bad association. We should close our eyes towards bad association. So to give the same principle, Krishna closed his eyes that I don't want to look towards the bad association. I want to stay away from bad association. Another reason Krishna closed his eyes. Krishna said, she is such a heinous person. She is the killer of babies. Palaghatani, she is a serial baby killer. I even don't want to look at her face, how heinous she is. So Krishna closed his eyes. Another reason Krishna closed his eyes as a judge. Right? So when some criminal is there in the court, and judge has a soft corner in the heart, judge want to see, okay, now last 5 years this person has done many crime, many criminal activities. But maybe he was a good person earlier, maybe he has done something good, and just giving him that benefit of his some good activity, judge want to be a little soft towards that person, he minimize his punishment. Judge want to search up his diary and see his record, if he has done some good activity at least somewhere. So like that, Krishna is also as a judge. Krishna is thinking she is such a heinous person, she is a serial baby killer, has done so many criminal activities, but maybe she has done something good in her previous lives, and Krishna just closing and meditating and just scanning through her previous lives to see if she has done something good and I can give her the benefit of something. So Krishna is closed his eyes and scanning through that. Another reason Krishna closed his eyes. Why? Krishna is thinking, I was lying down on the what is that milk ocean? Sheer Sagar. I was lying on the Sheer Sagar, I was enjoying there. I have left that place, come here to drink the sweet milk from Mother Yashoda. And she has come to feed me poison. And see, when the kids are given some sorrow thing or some that, what is that, some, नहीं कुछ कड़वी चीज दी जाती है उनको, so they make their mouth, they close their eyes, they run here and there, right? They want to run away from that. So they, as the mother is feeding, if the child becomes sick, mother gives some medicine which is little bitter in taste. So the child makes his face, he closes his eyes, he does like that. So Krishna is thinking, I have come from the Sheer Sagar to drink the sweet milk of Mother Yashoda, and she has come to feed me this bitter poison. And so Krishna closed his eyes. Another reason, one of the very beautiful reason, Krishna closed his eyes. Krishna is thinking, मैं ठहरा दूध दही मक्खन खाने वाला आदमी, ये जहर खाने का काम, जहर पीने का काम किसका है? भोलेनाथ का. When the whole churning of the ocean was done, so many things came out, and when the halahal wish came out, Lord Shiva came and he drank the poison. So ये जो हलाहल पीने का काम है, जो विष पीने का काम है, वो भोलेनाथ का काम है. So Lord Krishna, he is meditating on भोलेनाथ. भोलेनाथ आप आइए और आप ये जहर आप पीजिए, दूध मैं पी लूंगा. So he is meditating on भोलेनाथ. So he closed his eyes. So these are the various reasons Acharyas explain why Krishna closed his eyes. See, on one small aspect, if we go in deep, there's so much to learn, so much to understand. So Putana came, she picked up Krishna to feed him the poison. She came in disguise, she's saying, I'm going to nurse the baby. And Mother Yashoda and Rohini also even did not say anything that, oh, she want to nurse the baby, let her do. It is like giving the blessing to the child. So she took the baby Krishna in her lap and put her breast in the mouth of Krishna to feed him the poison. अपने स्तन पर वो कालकूट नामक जहर लगा कर आई थी, wish, to kill the baby. And as Krishna started sucking the breast of Putana, he drank the milk, he sucked out the life air of Putana. As he started sucking out the life air of Putana, Putana started crying, chod de mujhe, let me go. And she started crying and she could not keep up her disguised face. जो गलत रूप बनाकर आई थी, she उसको बनाकर नहीं रख सकी वो. And she started exhibiting her real form. And she started running away from the house with Krishna still in his lap, sticking to his breast. And Krishna, she is running out in the fields and started exhibiting her real form. And finally Krishna sucked out the life air of Putana and she fell to the ground like a big mountain. And she exhibited her form. How long, how tall was Putana? Shukdev Goswami described now the real form of Putana. Earlier he described the disguised form of Putana, the beauty of Putana, she has come. Now he describes the actual form, that she was so horrible, so scary. Her form was like 12 miles long. 12 miles long. And her body fell onto the ground like the big boulders have fell from the mountains. Her noses were looking like the caves in the mountain. Her thighs were looking like the big giant tree trunks. So she fell onto the ground and all the women of Gokul, they ran behind her. They were thinking about the protection of Krishna, that she is running away with Krishna. What will happen to baby Krishna? They are scared for their baby darling Krishna. As the gopis came close to this giant Putana lying there, they saw baby Krishna still at the breast of this Putana playing there. So the one gopi climbed onto the body of Putana and took Krishna from there. And all the women, they started doing some, what is called jhadfunk, right? Somebody is putting the tail of the cow, sprinkling or kind of चारों तरफ से गाय की पूंछ को घुमा रहे हैं, उससे गोबर से और गाय के मूत्र से कृष्णा को स्नान कराया जा रहा है. And then finally Mother Yashoda took the baby and fed him the breast milk from her breast, because if the child drinks the breast milk of mother, it means the child is okay, he is not scared, he is normal. So Mother Yashoda took the baby and they came back. Now Krishna, even though he killed Putana, भगवान ने पूतना को मारा नहीं, उसको तार दिया. What is the position Krishna gave to Putana?
Mother.
Krishna gave the position of Dhatri, of mother, of nurse actually. Dhatri is called nurse, which is equivalent to one of the mother. So Krishna gave that position to Putana. Somebody who has come with the intention to kill Krishna, to feed poison to Krishna, Krishna has given the position of mother. Because Krishna is looking at the bhav, okay, she has come. Somehow she has come to me, even though she has come to feed me poison, but she is offering her milk also to me. She has come with the disguise, with putting a Vaishnava tilk on her forehead, by putting a kantimala in her neck. So Krishna has accepted. Even Krishna accepted that also. So Krishna delivered Putana. And who was Putana actually in her previous life? Anybody knows who was Putana in her previous life?
Bali Maharaj.
Putana was the sister of Bali Maharaj, Ratnamala. And Bali Maharaj, when he conquered all the three worlds, right, he was so much proud of his achievement. So he was performing one yajna and Vamandev appeared there in that yajnashala. Bali Maharaj wanted to give some charity to this beautiful Brahmana boy. He said, ask me anything, and the boy, Brahmana dwarf boy, he said, give me 3 footsteps of land. And Bali Maharaj took the sankalp to give this 3 footsteps of land. At that time when the Brahmana boy has entered into that arena, he was so beautiful, mesmerizing everybody. Bali Maharaj's sister Ratnamala was also there. She was also very much attracted to see this boy. She had a motherly affection come out that time. She was thinking, what if he was my baby, I take him in my lap and feed him my milk. So she had that motherly affection towards the boy. But as Vamandev took a giant form and measured the whole universe in 1 footstep, took everything away from Bali Maharaj, when Bali Maharaj was captured, this same woman Ratnamala, her mind, her mood changed. She was now spitting poison. That, oh, this boy, he is such poisonous. He has come and took everything away from my brother, and I want to feed him poison. So because she expressed both bhav, both mood, in one point she wanted to feed the boy her milk. She has a motherly affection, and at the same time later on she wanted to feed poison. So she came as Putana. She wanted to feed poison to Krishna by offering her milk to Krishna. So Krishna just accepted both bhav and delivered her and gave her the position of his mother. That is the merciful nature of Krishna. If Krishna can give mercy to Putana, who came with disguised form, not even having real Vaishnava mood, then what about devotees who want to serve Krishna, who generally offer offerings to Krishna, who put offerings to Krishna, different food stuff? Will not Krishna accept that?
Yes.
So Krishna accepts our offering if we offer it with bhav. Even bhav kubhav, even if somebody doesn't have bhav, offers to Krishna, Krishna takes that. She came with putting a tilk or kantimala. If we put tilk on our forehead, if we are wearing this kantimala, well, Krishna will not be pleased with that. So our intention should be to please Krishna by offering him nice food stuff, by decorating ourselves with tilk, by decorating ourselves with the kantimala. So Krishna gave him the position of mother, and Parikshit Maharaj, when he's hearing this whole katha, at that time Shukdev Goswami, he mentioned Falashruti. Actually, this whole pastime is remembered by Vidura also in front of Maitreya Muni. Vidura is describing this whole pastime. In one verse, he is describing the summary of this pastime. How merciful is Krishna. How can somebody not take shelter of Krishna who is so merciful? So at that time this verse is spoken. This verse comes from the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jingam sapayayadapya sadhavi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tato anyam kamba dayalum sharanam vrajema. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam. Alas, that Baki is referred to Putana. Right? Putana is referred as Baki because she is the sister of Bakasur. So Baka, sister of Baka, is addressed as Baki. So Bakasur, Aghasur and Putana, they are brother sister. Okay, so 2 brothers and 1 sister, and all are demons. Because one demon and other demon association, everybody is demon. So अहो बकीयम स्तन कालकूटम, अपने स्तन पर वो कालकूट नामक जहर लगा कर आई थी with this wrong intentions to kill Krishna out of enviousness. But lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam, Krishna gave her the destination of his own mother, nurse in the spiritual world. Kamba dayalum sharanam prapadde. Who can be more merciful than that? How we cannot take shelter of Krishna? So that is the summary of this whole Leela. That we should take shelter of Krishna, who can deliver even Putana. What to speak of devotees? And Shukdev Goswami speaks the Falashruti of this Leela. He says, Ya etat Putana moksham Krishnasya Arbhakam adbhutam Shrunya ashradhya mrityo Govinde labhate ratim. Ya etat Putana moksham. Whoever hears this Putana moksha Leela, पूतना का उद्धार की लीला को जो भी सुनता है, कृष्णस अद्भुत लीला, राइट, कृष्णस्य अर्भकम अद्भुतम शृण्य श्रद्धया, with full shraddha. If somebody hears these pastimes of Krishna, what happens? Govinde labhate ratim. He develops love for Govinda, for Krishna. In his heart, the desire to serve Krishna appears. Love for Krishna appears in his heart. So that is Putana Moksha Leela. And as Shukdev Goswami spoke this Falashruti, Parikshit Maharaj thought Falashruti is spoken at the end of Katha. So Shukdev Goswami is speaking Falashruti. Is he going to stop Katha now? No more Krishna Katha? So Parikshit Maharaj again got anxious. He requested Parikshit Maharaj, please continue speaking about Krishna's childhood pastime. I want to hear more and more and more. So Shukdev Goswami is going to continue narrating wonderful activities of Krishna, which we'll hear in the coming days. So here we'll stop here. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.